Still coming down there too. Yeah, pretty.
If you can stand the cold, which is going to get even colder as we start the week.
Yeah, about the cold.
Mm-hmm.
About the cold.
Looking at these weather impact alert days for the next, what, 6 days? We're looking at 5 days?
We're going to look at, what is today, Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, at least through Friday at this point. There's possibility we add Saturday because this cold is going to be moving in and it's just going to stick around, which means, yes, school issues, and also means that all the snow that we got today is not going to melt anytime soon. We're going to be dealing with some lingering issues from all of this snow. We'll take a look at a few totals out there. These were from our reports that kind of came in after the 5 o'clock hour. So these are not storm totals for the airports by any means, but this is where we were as of 5 p.m. 5.9 inches for Hopkins, a little over 8.5 for Akron, Canton, and Mansfield. Here's the thing to note, towards the bottom, this season, Cleveland, after the measurements earlier today, running over 8 inches above average for the season so far, almost 11 inches above average for Akron, Canton. So if you think about the last couple of winters, we really didn't have a ton of snow. Last winter for Hopkins, we came in at the end of the season with less than half of our average snowfall. So kind of night and day from what we had last winter to what we've been dealing with so far this winter. Here's a look at a couple of snowfall totals thus far. We'll get better measurements as we get a lot of the observations in during the morning hours. So we'll expect some storm totals by the time we get into tomorrow morning. So far, highest observation we've seen for our area, Niles coming in with 12 inches. They have had reports higher than that out towards Youngstown and portions of Mahoning County. 11 inches for Louisville east of Canton. Navarre coming in with 10.5, over 10 inches for North Canton, right at 10 for Shelby and areas down there in Richland County. So that snow really added up. For many of us through the day, we had a lot of slowdowns on the roads, and crews have been doing their best to keep up with things. And as we heard earlier, it's passable, not perfect. That's been the goal, and that's been the case for many of the highways through the day. This is about as good as that traffic map has been looking so far today. Still plenty of slowdowns. If you do have to head out tonight and even into tomorrow morning, we're still going to expect to see some of those slowdowns, even as the crews are working on things. That's a lot of snow to really move around and to clear off all of those roadways. Here's a look at I-271 at 480, and this is kind of what we mean. Again, a good example of the passable, not perfect. We can see a little bit of pavement. There's still a little bit of ice under there in some locations, so you want to be careful of that. And crews are getting out. There's a plow going through right there, and cars are getting by, but they're getting by a lot slower than average. So plan a lot of extra time if you have to be out on the roads tonight or into tomorrow as well. Temperatures right now, 12 degrees. Wind is coming in from the north for the most part. Wind chills are back -1 for Hopkins, and we have had some lake effect that's been developing. Our main snow has exited, but with that north wind, we have sparked a little bit of lake effect. Lake Erie is mostly frozen over, but we do still have other lakes that can supply some moisture. So that's really ramped up over the past 2 hours or so here. Most of that coming in south of the Cleveland area, and we will continue to monitor that lake effect through tonight and into tomorrow as well, as our wind directions coming in more from the north and northwest. Really, that lake effect is the biggest concern. Any of that steadier snow has moved out, and really this whole system that we've been dealing with last night and into today has raced very, very quickly off towards the east and not going to be an issue for us anymore. Again, lake effect is going to be our primary concern as far as any additional snow for tonight and into tomorrow morning. We'll look at that National Design hour-by-hour forecast for tomorrow. Again, roads are going to be better than they are right now as the crews get to work overnight, but still don't expect perfection heading out tomorrow, especially a lot of those neighborhoods, back roads, side roads, parking lots are going to be a mess for quite some time. We're not again going to melt the snow anytime soon. We're going to continue to have it stick around. Temperatures tomorrow only make it into the teens. Our wind chills will be struggling. Again, some lake effect could be possible. It should be fairly light in general, so it's not going to add up too much, but still it's going to add a little bit of insult to injury with what we already have out there. Winds will be gusting to about 20 miles per hour through the day tomorrow, a little stronger later on, so that could mean a little bit of blowing with some of the snow that we do have, so we will be watching out for that. Main concern, though, for the rest of the week is really going to be the cold. I keep mentioning that the snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. We've got more Arctic air that's going to come down and really settle in. We'll feel that into Tuesday, and it's going to stick around. We get some very, very cold air that settles in for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and even into Saturday, we could still see that lingering for a good portion of the country. It's not just going to be us. So we do have weather impact alerts that are going to go probably for the rest of the week for that frigid air. And you really want to pay attention to things like your pipes. Do what you can to protect those. Again, keep that little bit of water running. Outside facing pipes, you really want to open up the cupboards, let in some of that warm air. Do what you can to protect those. Also keep an eye on your heating system. We're also going to be watching for any ice dams or water damage, because a lot of those rivers really froze up very quickly. Again, a lot of the country is going to be dealing with this. These are the cold weather alerts that we have in place heading into the rest of the week. We are included in that. We actually have an extreme cold watch. This is setting up for Monday evening through Tuesday morning. Wind chills well into the negative teens and negative 20s will be likely. That could mean some school closures again for the kids on Tuesday. And we're probably going to have similar conditions as we head into Wednesday. Not a ton of improvement on Tuesday. More negative teens to negative 20s for some of those feels like temperatures as we get into Wednesday morning, and possibly more of the same as we go through the rest of the week, depending on how our wind works out with some very cold temperatures. We'll look at that Union Home Mortgage forecast. And again, yeah, right now we're going to go weather impact alerts for very, very cold conditions through the rest of that work and would-be school week. So any snow chances are pretty minimal compared to what we had earlier today. Biggest concern is going to be the cold. We'll have wind chills, again, negative teens, negative 20s at times. Just a slight bit of improvement into next week. We might, make it past 20 degrees, which could be a really nice improvement. Sports is up after the break.